Hey people, it is Thursday, June 19th. The time is 8:25 in the evening, and it's about 19 degrees Celsius. And I am standing here on Davenport Road, just immediately west of Avenue Road, as we looked at the old Avenue Diner here, in business since 1944. I'm going to make my way south down Avenue Road, and then I think I'll go into the Yorkville neighborhood and we'll take a look around that area. It's a very upscale neighborhood, as you may know. Basically this whole area, including the annex next door, is a very highly sought after and expensive part of town. Look north up Avenue Road, a very busy thoroughfare and very wide as it goes north of Davenport here. Walking past Flower Shop Row, as I like to call it. I always have to make sure I show this one. The sidewalks are quite narrow here. I think there are plans to redevelop part of this block we're currently walking past. Yeah, there we go. 11-story building. I think some of Flower Shop Row will be demolished. Maybe we'll get wider sidewalks in the end. I think some streetscaping would go a long way to improving the public realm here, basically on the edge of Yorkville. Beautiful tree-lined residential streets of old historic townhomes. I wonder whether that ring would set you back. The wind is just insane today. So it's kind of a cooler day today, but we're in for some intense heat in the next few days. So I think the current system is blowing through the area. With all the hot air rushing towards the city. It'll feel like upwards of 40 degrees with the humidex after the weekend, I believe. This new building is topped out now. Another skinny residential, very upscale building. There's the Yorkville Village Mall. It's a small upscale shopping mall. I've done some videos inside there. Got the Whole Foods. I think this is the only Whole Foods in the downtown area. Another look at that new building. The cladding still obviously has to be installed on the front-facing side here. I think it'll look very handsome when it's fully complete. Yorkville Plastic Surgery Center. I'm sure sign you're in a wealthy area. There are also luxury auto dealers in the area with storefront entrances and showrooms. Your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, whatever the case may be. Choose your favorite plastic surgeon here. And another luxury high-rise is under construction. Hasn't yet hit ground level, but it'll be quite tall. Close to 500 feet or 150 meters in height. You can see the one under construction in the background. That's at Yonge and Bloor. Toronto's first super tall, but not the last. Is now over 300 feet in height. Still growing, almost topped out though. All right, let's cross and we will head east along Yorkville Avenue. Towards Bloor Street. And a glimpse of the CN Tower. Got the Park Hyatt Hotel up ahead on the corner. A very loud talker passing by. Come here on a weekend night. This is a very busy and lively area.
Ready?
Not so sure about a Thursday night, but I'm sure there's a fair amount of activity ongoing. Still a bit early. A lot of the places here stay open quite late. Many restaurants, cafes, and of course upscale retailers. The Mink Mile on Bloor Street is just immediately to the south, or 2 blocks to the south of here. This is sort of like a little more village-like area here in Yorkville. It was a village at one time, independent from Toronto. And most people still refer to it as Yorkville Village. The Hazelton Hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in the city. Pretty busy restaurant here. And this is a place to go if you want to spot luxury automobiles.
I had no idea. I thought I was driving you home.
Many celebrities frequent this area when they're in town, especially during the Toronto International Film Festival, but really all year round. This is a very active filming location here. Many movies and TV shows are filmed in Toronto, of course, and actors live in the city. Well, they're involved in various projects, and oftentimes they live here in Yorkville. Many luxury residences all around. And luxury hotels, as I mentioned. Some pretty neat retail spaces here. Got some ice cream. Chanel. Balenciaga. Of course, if you want to see the rest of the luxury retailers, you go onto Bloor Street in the Mink Mile. Kind of neat. There's music in here though, so I can't really hang out in here, but a neat little space for sure. Got a nice looking restaurant, art gallery. There are lots of art galleries in the area. There's the Four Seasons Hotel in the center of the shot. It's a luxury hotel chain. It's actually headquartered in Toronto. Of course, you can't take a walk through Yorkville without mentioning its past. Not only was it an independent village at one time, it was also the hub of the city's coffee house, Bohemian, and Hippie scene in the 1960s. A lot of well-known entertainers got their start here in Yorkville playing the coffee houses. Names like Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Gordon Lightfoot, and many more. Here's Bel Air Street. Gets blocked off to car traffic during the summer months. Lots of good spots.
Yeah, but they wouldn't stay in the house. That's what's
And there are redevelopment notices all over the neighborhood for new towers. 29 stories here. I think the old Victorian townhouses are protected for the most part. They house boutiques now for the most part, and restaurants and cafes. A lot of the other newer buildings, which were built in the 1970s and 80s, I think, are being phased out and replaced with higher density residential buildings. So Yorkville Avenue does continue on to Yonge Street. There's the old firehouse up ahead and the public library. It's a very luxurious new building under construction there. 10 days of outdoor music as part of the Toronto Jazz Fest. Something to check out. All right, we'll head south down Bay to the other sort of street in old Yorkville Village, which is Cumberland Street. Let's say Yorkville Ave, Cumberland Street, and Hazelton Avenue are the three most popular streets in the neighborhood. Bloor Street is its own thing, of course, just one more block to the south. The area gets lumped together as Bloor Yorkville by the BIA. It's the one looking very tall. Carrying my gimbal in a bag and the wind is just flapping it all over the place. Got another new skyscraper under construction right over there, joining its new neighbors. Alright, we'll head west back into the old village. It's more or less quite similar to Yorkville Avenue. Although there is a nice park here on Cumberland. And also has the big rock, big pre-Cambrian shield that was transported to the city. It's billions of years old. We'll see the big rock up ahead. Maybe I'll climb on top, as I often like to do whenever I'm passing by. There's Bel Air Street again. And this area gets decked out during the holiday season with lots of lights. Maybe not quite as fancy as Yorkville Avenue itself. See more of the old Victorian townhouses here. Let's go back in time to the mid to late 60s. These were coffee houses and live music venues. And the streets would have been swarming with hippies. And the traffic would have been backed up as people from the suburbs drove down to the neighborhood just to gawk at the hippies. That was a thing that they actually did. But by the 1970s, that had all basically gone away, and the neighborhood underwent a major gentrification to become what it is now. You can find old videos online of Yorkville back in its hippie days. Basically Canada's version of something like Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco or Greenwich Village in New York. There's an entrance to Bay subway station, and here's the big rock. It's quite easy to climb this. There's Old York Lane. That'll take you back up to Yorkville Avenue. It's just a nice little laneway. There's restaurants and shops inside the laneway. I think there's a walkway I can take to take us onto Bloor Street. A bit off the beaten path here. I could have walked through this for a more attractive way to access this walkway, but I chose the more alley-like way. boom, we're on Bloor Street. So this is the Mink Mile, as I mentioned. And here's Bel Air Street again. We just keep crossing Bel Air. Some nice streetscaping here. Some of the nicest in the downtown area, actually. The public realm is a bit better than the usual here in this neighborhood. This is where the new Tiffany store will be located. They're currently back that way, closer to Avenue Road, but they're going to be relocating here to the corner of Bay and Bloor with a much more prominent storefront. Look south down Bay Street. The neighborhood Italy and the Manulife Center, another upscale shopping mall. Holt Renfrew, luxury department store. I've done some walks through this mall as well, if you're interested to see what that looks like. And And I was just here the other day for the exotic car show. I was stuck in human gridlock trying to get a look at some of the cars. You'll find that video on the channel, where I mostly just bemoan my situation as I try to walk 10 feet surrounded by human beings on all sides. But I think it's time to start wrapping up this walk. Hope you enjoyed the Thursday evening walk through Bloor, Yorkville, starting on Avenue Road. Made our way south, and then we made our way east along Yorkville Avenue. Checked out a bit of Bay Street, and then west along Cumberland, and then up here to Bloor in the Mink Mile. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed or not. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching. And thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.